this is not the final thing, but it is a big step.
Of course.
The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals upheld a lower court ruling which said that Apple didn't do anything wrong, and Epic Games is blowing smoke.
Hmm.
Okay, the crux of the argument was Epic Games filed a lawsuit against Apple saying that they were being anti-competitive. Epic Games wanted to put their own app store on Apple's infrastructure, basically saying, "Listen, we want to compete with Apple as equals."
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Yo, yo, yo! What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Miami Geeks Weekly Updates brought to you by DigitalCrackNetwork.com. I'm your host, Punch305. With me, as always, old school gaming specialist, Uncle Willie.
I'm going to keep telling you until you listen. You're too happy for a Monday.
Yes, I know. But Willie, do you blame me? I mean, honestly, what? Unrecord is a real game footage. Ask you why? What?
Why what?
Why is Unrecord a real game footage?
I'm glad you asked me that question. Well, I mean, we've all seen the footage for the game Unrecord, which is supposed to be a tactical first-person shooter from the perspective of a body cam. And there's been debate over whether or not it's actual real footage.
I mean, it looks like a game.
It looks good. I'm not going to lie. It looks good. But I see you're playing it right now. If you wait long enough, you'll see, you can see it right now. I mean, I don't have a gun. But I'm guessing you don't hold it that way with your hands.
Actually, you kind of do to get steady aiming
in front of a body cam.
Oh no! Well, in front of a body cam. Okay, yeah, because the body cam is usually down chest, like right here down the chest, where he's holding the thing is like literally up here, like if he's wearing a GoPro. That looks
like the body cam is coming from whatever visor he has on.
Yeah, like a GoPro type of thing.
We're doing this real time, folks. Okay. I want you to see the one part where I said, okay, right here. Right here.
Yeah.
You see how the flashlights flashlights don't work that way.
Yeah, no. At all.
Go into a dark room and turn on a flashlight and tell me if it looks like that.
No, at all,
there may be some trickeration, but this is game footage.
That's amazing then.
And I'm going to get into that in a little bit because that's just how I roll. But just my opinion, Unrecord is in-game footage. It may be played around with, but it's in-game.
Okay. Shoot. All right. Well, you know what? I'll take your word for that because I just thought it was just, like a little bit of game footage, but it's actually gameplay footage, kind of then, in other words.
It is, and that says something about gaming as a whole. And we'll get there.
All right, cool. All right, well, you know what, Willie? That's fine. We'll keep that on the back burner while we'll discuss about everything else right now. Like, let's get to it, dude. Like, there's a lot going on right now, and it has to do with PlayStation. So PS5 executives don't want to see gaming future dominated by live service gaming. They consider it boring. Willie, what in the absolute hell they're talking about? I mean, live service is pretty much in now. It's been going on for a hot minute. So what is this whole thing with the executives calling it boring? And what's their motive into this?
Okay. First of all, I think we may need to define what a live service game is.
Okay.
It's a game that you play, but it's an always online game where you're being presented with always a bunch of stuff that's supposed to be live, meaning
Okay.
change things around. They've given you things to make it look more real. I'm not even gonna say more real. Whatever. A live service game is supposed to be a game that evolves as the game goes along.
Okay.
I'm going to use the poster child for live service games as Anthem,
Okay.
a
Okay.
game that was supposed to be a constantly evolving game that will always make you feel like you're seeing new shit.
Mhm.
Actually, I'll go and say Destiny instead. A multiplayer online game whose world changes as they see fit. You get me?
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Okay. Nothing against the concept of the life service
Hmm.
because you're talking to a guy who plays World of Warcraft. It's a massively multiplayer online game that is supposedly constantly changing, and it does.
Yeah.
But is that what people want to play all the time? Well, according to Sony, maybe not. They say Shuhei Yoshida, the boss of PlayStation, spoke to The Guardian, and he's talking about how he doesn't want all games to be live service games. And I will quote for him. Quote, the game industry will never cease to be a fun place. The industry keeps going and growing, and I hope it keeps supporting and chasing creative ideas and people who try to work on new things. You don't want to see the top 10 games every year being almost the same, all games becoming service games. That will be a bit boring for me. Think about this.
All right.
Imagine every game you played for the next 10 years was the division. How would you feel?
I mean, okay. I kind of understand where you're going with this, and all right. I guess for my point of view, I will be bored. I mean, if I'm playing the division, and they're doing all these changes and stuff toward it, and it's still the same game just with different mechanics, I'll be kind of bored already. But then again, look how long they lasted with WoW. Look how long they lasted with Call of Duty, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
It's still the same thing, dude. Like, I mean, for crying out loud, Overwatch. Overwatch
Okay.
is still the same mechanics. It doesn't get boring for anybody. They change a couple things here and there, and still people play with it. But
But I
that,
have a
again, that's just my
counterpoint.
opinion. All right, go.
I have a counterpoint, and it's right up your alley.
All right, go.
I'm going to say three games right now:
All right, go.
Horizon,
Mm-hmm.
Spider Man, and God of War. These are three games that are not live services. They are single player, narrative focused games, and they've done really well. There may be a place for a live service game. I'm not going to say there isn't, but it should not be the focus of
All
video
right.
games.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 16 is about to come out. The Final Fantasy series has always been a single player narrative experience. Final Fantasy fans would be upset if a Final Fantasy game, okay, Final Fantasy 14, I understand is an MMO, but Final Fantasy core fans would be upset if every Final Fantasy game were a live service. How happy would you be if God of War was a live service?
I wouldn't be too happy. I mean, again, it's all depending on the game that will cater to a live service. God of War, for instance, I mean, a lot of people there will probably want it, but they're not gonna know what they're getting themselves into. I mean, can you see
Okay,
yourself opening up to a different world, but you're still playing the same mechanics of God of War?
okay.
From here going to any part of freaking, in the game, you're
God
still
of
doing the same
War
thing.
God of War is a perfect example for the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
How would you feel if you played a game where you were Kratos
Mm-hmm.
and you were carving up whatever mythology is de rigueur at that moment, except that you saw 14 other Kratoses? Kratai?
Kratos,
Kratesses?
Kratos,
What's the plural for
Kratotus,
Kratos?
Kratotus. I don't know.
How would you feel if you saw multiple Kratoses playing the same game?
I'll be I'll be kind of like, I don't want to say the word turned off because that doesn't sound right. I will be just kind of like, oh, okay, they're doing the same thing as I am. They look the same as I do. Okay,
Wait,
fine. Let's do some challenges, but
let's go
I think
further.
I'll just be tired.
Let's go further. What
Okay.
if it was a Kratos, but he was thinner and faster?
So
And
what? We're
so
modding our
he's
Kratos.
the Kratos that would do more DPS, damage per second, because he's a rogue type. And what if there was a Kratos laying back because he's a healer?
So we're going to Overwatch or Diablo.
We're going to World of Warcraft. In order for you to make a live service of God of War, you have to give people a reason to want to be something other than Kratos. Kratos just jumps in front of things, smashes them with her forehead, and if the forehead doesn't work, I have weapons. But
Sounds
there's
right.
5 of you.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, personally, to me, like I'm telling you, Willie, I'll be bored. I mean, yeah, fine. So we have a Kratos that heals. We got a Kratos as a tank character. We have a Kratos that is just a Kratos,
Yeah.
and then we have the other guy that he's just going in circles and Leroy Jenkins the crap out of
No.
everything. Or
I'll
Jose.
use the I'll use the WoW framework. You have 5 Kratoses.
Okay.
One that heals, because Kratos is known for healing other people.
Of course he
A
is.
Kratos who's a tank who takes all the damage, and 3 Kratoses, Kratai, who are just jumping around and doing damage while the tank absorbs all the damage. And the healer is sitting there saying, no, I got you. Wait, Phoenix down. There you go. I revived you.
Again,
Yeah, that'll work well.
I think it'll be a boring game.
There are games that lend themselves to the live service model.
Yeah.
You said Overwatch. Overwatch is a perfect example.
Mhm.
That is a game that can be a live service. But there is a
Indeed.
place for single player narrative games. How many Spider-Men do you need to beat up Rhino?
I mean, only one apparently, but
Exactly. Why do you need to have it be a live service?
it doesn't need
There
to.
needs to be. I understand where a Yohida-san is coming from. There has to be more than just a live service. You need to have
Indeed.
narrative games.
Yeah, there has to be a not a focus, but there has to be a reason for having so many Spider-Man attacking one Rhino, or there has to be a story behind this whole journey or adventure that you're going to be doing.
That being said, if they were to make a live service Spider-Man game,
Mhm.
if it were a Spider-Verse game, how quickly would you be Peter Porker?
Oh my god! In a drop of a dime, I want to be that Spider Pig so bad.
Yes,
So bad.
but it has to be a game that lends itself to that.
Of course,
You can't get Spider-Man. You can't get Marvel Spider-Man on the PS4 or PS5 because it's there now, and go and say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna let you do that, but you can be Spider Noir, or you can be Spider Geddon." No, you can't, because it's narrative.
Yeah, I get you.
Okay, I'm glad we agree.
I know I do, but you know what? I'm kind of curious to know what our audience thinks. And ladies and gentlemen, please comment down below. Let us know your thoughts, and let's have a conversation about this. But we need to continue on, Willie, because there's bigger things to fry and actually talk about, because this is an ongoing news that we've been talking about since what, 2 years ago, more or less.
Last year,
But
because that's when the lawsuit started.
Okay, so last year, I would have thought 2 years, but whatever. So 1 year ago, Apple went to court with Epic Games because of the whole situation with Fortnite. But guess what, kids? Apple wins the case. And they win the whole court ruling against Apple, against Epic Games. And there we go. They finally reached an end. Now, Willie, what's the verdict about this? Where did they actually end in this whole thing, in this whole fiasco?
Okay, this is not the final thing, but it is a big step.
Of course.
The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals upheld a lower court ruling which said that Apple didn't do anything wrong and Epic Games is blowing smoke.
Hmm.
Okay, the crux of the argument was Epic Games filed a lawsuit against Apple saying that they were being anti-competitive. Epic Games wanted to put their own app store on Apple's infrastructure, basically saying, "Listen, we want to compete with Apple as equals." Basically, what the court said was, "Listen, Apple made this because what Epic Games is trying to do is they're trying to muscle in on Apple's infrastructure." Meaning that, well, I know it's Apple's phones and Apple's systems and it's Apple's app store, but we want to be part of it too. And they got smacked down saying, no. Basically, Apple created this storefront. They created their app store, and they can decide whether or not you can be part of it. Is it right? It can be debated. How do you feel about it?
Okay, so I talked about this last year, and it's just who got the biggest wallet. Technically, that's how I felt about this. Um, Personally, it is what it is. Let's just put it that way. Apple does run this whole stuff, man, and I really can't put too much into this because I won't be the perfect person to talk about it. The only thing I can say is, you're going against Apple. That's more than enough right there for me. Like that's just literally a heavyweight boxer going against a one arm boxer. You get your licks in, but eventually you're gonna get knocked down. That's just me. That's my opinion, at least.
The problem is this.
Hmm.
Apple created the App Store.
Yeah.
Whether or not we agree with their terms, it's their
theirs.
App Store.
Technically, it's their court, their ball.
That's like you being the owner of Sedanos
Mm-hmm.
and you deciding, you know what, I'm going to go after Publix because Publix does the same thing that we do. But Publix created Publix.
Yeah.
That's their business. Yeah, they're doing well. You want to compete in there? Okay, compete. But don't go and say, because Publix made their stores, it's not fair. I would love for Epic Games to go and prove that Apple has a monopoly, but I'm sorry, Apple made the monopoly. They created the App Store. They have their own rules on what goes on in the App Store. If you don't like it, you can cry about it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but it's their App Store. And that goes for Android as well.
Yeah, it does. I
Because
just think that maybe go ahead.
Epic also sued Android. They sued Google. Because because the Android store is not fair. It's not my fault that you want to be part of this. We made this.
Mm-hmm.
to quote the worst song of the 80s and 90s, we built this city
Can
and you
I
just
will have
want to
to
be
probably
part of
say
it.
something. I will have to say something. I
Uh-huh.
think that Epic Games bit more than what they can chew. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I agree.
I get their understanding on why they did this, but I think they went a little overboard thinking that they're going to win something like this, like how pretty much you just explained. It is theirs. They created that. So why are you going to go against like how are you going to go against the hand that feeds you? In other words, you know that old saying.
I wouldn't go that far. Apple created it, therefore they created the rules. It sucks. It really does.
Hmm.
Because yes, as a competitor, you want to be able to find a compelling reason for people to go to you,
Hmm.
but that's not Apple's fault. They
No,
created it. If you wanted to be part of it, you should have created it first.
yeah, but
That's
it
all.
is what it is, man. No, no, I understand, but let's just see what happens, man. I mean, you just said it right now. This is not the end of it, so pretty much you're going to be hearing a little bit more of this. We're going to keep an eye on it. I mean, hell, we've been on this for 1 year, so of course we're going to be hearing more about this soon. Well, let's see what happens, guys. So but forget about this, Willie. I'm proud to say what I'm going to be talking about right now, dude. And it's the box office. And dude, I have to tell you that Super Mario Brothers speeding towards 900 million worldwide is phenomenal news. And look, just this weekend alone, Evil Dead Rises came up, and right now they're at 40 million. That's actually nice. That's a good number at least. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk a little more about this box office sensation, Willie. Talk to me.
Well, as you said, Super Mario Brothers is it's getting near $900 million worldwide. Like for all of us that were sitting there saying that was a video game curse with movies,
Mhm.
I think we can shut up now.
Yeah, it's set to say that it's over. Like, yeah,
It's never going to be over because Uwe Boll still exists.
I understood that reference.
Everyone that loves the Super Mario movie
hmm
is happy because, oh my God, the video game curse is over. That's great. Whatever. A video game movie is finally making all the money. But the one that should be happy is not Nintendo
Oh, ooh.
because they don't make all the money from it. It's Universal.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Because
Yeah.
for those who don't know, Universal owns Illumination Studios, the people that made the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
hmm
And okay, it's gonna make it's close to $900 million worldwide. That's great. I'm actually happy because I've told you I don't want to see movies that suck. I don't want
Nobody
movies to
does.
suck. Well, Super Mario Brothers made this past weekend $59.9 million.
Nice,
That
nice.
headed off the debut of Evil Dead Rise, a movie which I have not seen because I was not able to go.
Hmm.
But Evil Dead Rise made $24.5 million, which is really good for an R-rated horror movie.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
It's good for both studios. Universal with Super Mario and Evil Dead with Warner Brothers. After that, it's a bloodbath.
Hmm.
The Covenant, which was an MGM movie, only made $6.4 million. Then it was John Wick Chapter 4. Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves a movie that I would have thought would have made more noise, but it only made 5.5 million in its fourth week. Then the top 10 is rounded out by Air with 5.4 million. The Pope's Exorcist with 3.4 million. Renfield, come on. Come on. Nicolas Cage, 3.3 million.
I'm surprised.
Come on. Beau is Afraid with 2.8 million. And Suzume, an anime movie, with $1.6 million. That's the top 10 this past weekend. Come on.
Yeah. I just gotta say is dude. I mean, I just think that Mario might make it to the 1 billion maybe this weekend.
It's
maybe
gonna make $1 billion. It's gonna
for sure.
And I'm saying this as a person who's not interested in whether or not Nintendo does good things, because to hell with Nintendo. I'm saying that. You can get mad at me all you want, but Nintendo dragged a person into court and sued him for $10 million for making something that netted them $300,000 in revenue. To hell with Nintendo.
Yeah, they're
all that being said, the movie is popular enough that it's going to make $1 billion.
Yeah, it is for sure.
But the debut of Evil Dead Rise tells me that horror movies still have a very healthy market, because you do know that movie did not have a $20 million budget.
No, not at all.
They made their money.
No, they made enough for the sequel.
And good for them. John Wick, in its 5 weeks in theaters, has made $169 million domestically.
Wow. I'm surprised.
Again, R-rated, but it's Keanu Reeves. He always wins.
Of course. All right. Well, Willie, I mean, this one I'm not too shocked, but it has to be said. And it's Guardians of the Galaxy 3. First reactions call it MCU's saddest and darkest movie yet. Dude, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this at all. Look, I'm going to be honest. The first two movies, at least, they always find a way to tear jerk me, make me feel something, as always. But this one being the last movie, yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to survive this one.
I don't want to cry.
I don't want to cry.
I don't want to cry. Nothing in the world can take us back to where we used to be.
No.
Jesus tap dancing Christ. Okay, the first movie, all right, we had our moment. Okay, yeah, and whatever. The second one, I wasn't ready.
I wasn't set for that. The whole thing with Yondu and the passing, and then that little sad song in the end, and you have him holding baby Groot.
I don't want to. Again, I quote the wise scholar Mariah Carey. I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. Nothing in the world can take us back to the fact that her ex-husband wants to have 47,000 children. I don't want to cry.
I don't want to cry either, man. But you know what? The deed is done. I already signed my lungs, my eyes, and everything, because I bought my tickets early as it is. I'm going to go see it. And I'm not ready.
No.
I am not ready at all, dude.
No, I don't want to. I want to reiterate this for the 745th time. Okay? DC took a long ass time to make a Wonder Woman movie that was good.
Yeah, you're right.
Meanwhile, the MCU, okay, that big Disney machine that people gets mad about,
Yeah.
actually made us care about a raccoon and a tree.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not
I'm
wrong.
never going to let that go.
You
And
don't have to because it's so true. It's so true.
I'm going to watch this movie. And
Mhm.
when I come out of this movie and I am dehydrated because all of the liquid left my body, I'm going to get mad. And when I get
Yeah,
mad, I am not happy. That's what I'm
I
trying to
get you.
say. What I'm trying to say is that I'm going to watch this and I'm not going to be happy. I don't care how swole Groot is. I am going to not be happy.
Well, I want to make sure I wear a black shirt because if I wear a white shirt, all the tears are gonna be on it. And it's gonna be transparent when I'm done.
If you
Just saying.
wear a black shirt, the moisture will show more because it will be blacker than the shirt. And they will know that you cried, and then you have to explain it to them.
But
And
no,
you're
I don't
going
have to
to
explain a
say,
damn
I
thing.
cried, I cried because of a raccoon.
Yeah, I don't have to explain a damn thing. They're gonna be like, I understand. They're just gonna look at me.
No,
I
no.
understand.
You have to sit there and say, I cried because something happened to a tree. And they are going to laugh at you. And you can laugh back all you want, but you understand how damaged you are because of a swole tree.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is that I know for a fact something's gonna like. Oh God, you know what?
The only
I'm just gonna
thing,
be a hot mess. I'm gonna be a hot
the
mess.
only thing that will make it better is
Mhm.
if when the swole tree finally loses it and dies, Keebler elves come out of it and make cookies. That hey, listen, listen, Nabisco,
I'm so done
listen
with
to
you.
me.
I'm so done with you, Willie.
Make this happen. I am Groot. No, I am elves. I want the elves to come out of his chest and make cookies and make Star-Lord happy again.
Willie, I'm so done with you. This is not. This is not how I'm pretty sure this is not how James Gunn wanted to end it, and I'm more than sure
James
that this is not how
Gunn,
I wanted it. No,
James Gunn can go and do the things that I can't say on YouTube because they don't like when I say it. But he can do that and he will laugh in the process because if a Keebler elf comes out of Groot, it will be the most magical thing that ever happened that did not involve a rainbow.
Mother of God. You know what? You know what, Willie? I'll just end it right there, man, because that to me was just pure genius right there. I mean, you know what?
I
I'll,
have
I
managed
applaud you.
I have managed to quote a tree, Keebler, and Mariah Carey in one article.
I
I
am
dare
surprised.
you to do better, IGN.
Oh no, no, IGN has nothing on you right now. They got nothing. And this is where
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you
have
know
to
what?
end it. This is where I end it.
You know what IGN stands for?
What?
I got nothing.
That is brilliant. That is
I am
brilliant.
the cunning linguist.
Yes, you are. And ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think of everything we talked about? What do you guys think about from the whole thing with Guardians of the Galaxy being the darkest and saddest movie yet? From the Super Mario Brothers, from Apple winning, and the PS5 executive with the whole gaming thing. Please comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Let's have a conversation about this. And as always, guys, we're done. And as I just have nothing for you after the whole thing with IGN. They actually let me stump because I wish I would have thought about it first. Damn it! But
I am the cunning linguist.
linguist. But guys, I gotta say, from us again, thank you so much for watching the show. As always, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button just so that we come up with this amazing news, which is 3 times a week. Mondays, Wednesday, and Friday, and a little something in between. Willie, any last words?
If you think this is funny, put a mic on me off hours, I guarantee you will excrete.
Oh no, technically, yeah, you're right. Actually, we're gonna have to probably do a live recording one of these days, just us talking, and have people
Soon.
joining in this combo.
Not
And it's
one
gonna
of these
happen.
days.
It's gonna happen
Soon.
soon. It's gonna happen. But guys, thank you so much for watching us, and we'll see you on next time. Please, what the hell? Peace.
Hey, Capcom, go to hell for making me pay for Akuma.